Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot, where today we're going to be talking about the number seven. I always want to do like these, like the Sesame Street, Count Dracula, and go the number seven, hoo 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 hoo. But I'm not that creative, and it didn't sound right. But you might have gotten that image in your head if you grew up like watching Sesame Street and everything. But seven is considered probably the luckiest number in the world and the luckiest number in numerology, but I've never really understood why. Every number has its power. I love how that's like shining, don't you? But I love how every number has its energy and has its power, and seven is no different. The way that I see it is the fact that it precedes the number eight. Eight is success and wealth. So seven is the overcoming the obstacles that stand in our way of that. And when it comes to the tarot, I'm going to set that right up there. You can't really see what it is anyways. It's awesome. I love it, but kind of not great on camera. But in the tarot, and we're going to start with the minor arcana on this one, the sevens are all about struggles. The everyday struggles we face, the everyday things that cause us issues, the things we have to overcome in order to find success. Just take the Seven of Wands, for example. That guy standing on the top of the hill, he's got all these wands fighting against him. This is standing up for what you believe in, standing up for that passion. You have that passion, you have that wand, it's blooming. But so do all these other wands. So do all these people that have their own passions and interests and everything too. And if you think a little bit differently, then others are going to try to talk you down out of it, because people are rather closed-minded, for lack of a better word. So there's always going to be people that want to say something negative, say something against you. And that's why this is the obstacle card. Seven up there, VII in Roman numerals. There we go. Almost, I don't know what I was going to call it, but Roman numerals, five, 5 and 2 ones. So you got seven right there. And this is very much the overcoming the obstacles that stand in your way of success. Because the card that follows this one is all those wands floating through the air with nobody around. Because you found that confidence, you found that worth, you've overcome the obstacles, you've gotten behind the wheel in your life, and you're fighting for what you believe in. So there is power, there is luck in this card. When you don't give up, when you stand against the ones that don't believe in you and keep going, there, you can see the cliff and everything. Maybe this is like representative of the fool. That fool standing on the edge of the precipice, edge of the new idea. He's got his passion, he's got his ideas and everything, and he's ready to leap into it. But there's always going to be people down there that's like, maybe this isn't a good idea. You shouldn't do this. You're not good enough, or just random things. We've all probably likely met people like that before, the ones that just want to stand against us and ones that want to make us feel like we're not good enough. But when we stand for what we believe in, when we fight for what we believe in, then we can absolutely find success with it. So focus on that passion. The Seven of Wands tells us, focus on what lights our inner fires, and don't let other people tell us we can't do it. When we believe in our worth, when we're confident and we overcome those obstacles that stand in our way, success and wealth can await us. But success and wealth are a video for another time. Now the Seven of Wands I'm going to set aside, and we're going to move over to the Seven of Cups, which has a different obstacle. This one's fighting for our passions, fighting for what lights our inner fires, and standing up against the ones that don't believe in it. The Seven of Cups is more of an internal fight, and even the Seven of Wands could be an internal fight too. All those doubting voices making us think we can't do our passions. But that Seven of Cups, this is way more internalized than I think any other card. We'll get to this. The more I talk, the more I'm like, well, they're all internal. But this card, the whole internal thing, is because all of these choices, and therein lies the obstacle that it represents, because all of these choices hold potential. All of these choices are something that might fill our cups up within, make our hearts sing. But some of those choices in front of us might be too good to be true. So the obstacle lies within trying to see which one of these choices is the best for us, which ones can lead us to that success and wealth of the eight. All these options, they're there in front of us. The average person makes over 35,000 choices in a single day. So taking that time to look at each of these choices individually, spending that time looking within to decide which of those choices makes the most sense for us, as well as makes our hearts sing, can help us, drive our chariots moving forward and help us find that success and wealth that we deserve. Each one of these, you've got the snake up here, which is knowledge and wisdom. But that snake, I like the fact that it's going down and it's looking at this thing right here. And this is the one that kind of just looks the most interesting to me in this illustration, because you can't see what it is. It's covered up So it's like this idea, I'm not even aware of what it is right now, but I've got all these things that might distract me from the idea that I really want to take. So there's a lot of different ways that you can take this. There's all the glitters is all the jewelry and everything, all the wealth and everything. There's the success that can come. There is the dragon, which can be like magic and mystery. There's the beautiful woman. We can say we're searching for love and want to make the choice to follow our hearts. And there's the castle on top of a mountain that might say, we want to have that really rich, wealthy house with 15 cars. Now, each of these can show that choice. The choice is always ours, but we have that, the whole fact that it's a 7 shows that overcoming the obstacles so that we can actually find success with it. So that is the obstacle that comes with the 7 of Cups. And then we'll move to the 7 of Swords, which is considered the thief card of the tarot. And of course, thieves are definitely obstacles we have to overcome. But this is the one I think is the most internalized because it's the suit of the mind. So a lot of times it might not even be someone else that is taking advantage of us or stealing from us. Although it's always important to lock our cars at night and lock our vehicles, lock our doors, because not everyone can be trusted at all. But this, like the fact that it's a suit of swords kind of says, those people in the past, the ones that have taken advantage of us and or stolen from us, might have stolen our confidence at the same time. So as the dude walks away with 5 swords and leaves 2 swords, it kind of reminds us, those experiences can teach us something. So we can trust our intuitions and overcome the obstacles that stand in our way of finding success again by clearing our minds of that doubt and anxiety. Like the whole background and everything is yellow, which reminds us that our futures are what we choose to create. Those 5 swords right there, when you change your mindset, you can change your life for the better. And those 2 swords right there goes back to that energy of choices, because 2 has that number of choices. Think of the 2 of Wands with should I stay or should I go? Everything, 35,000 choices in a single day. Everything really is a choice. I made the choice to make this video about this week. But that energy there is this obstacle. Again, that's 7, very much overcoming obstacles. And every member of the minor arcana show those obstacles that we have to face. And this one is no different. The thieves in our lives, the thieves of our pasts, they can help be the thief in our own minds and fill us with doubt and anxiety and keep us from finding control and driving ourselves forward and finding the success that we deserve. Last but not least, when it comes to the minor arcana and those day-to-day struggles, when we have to, do the things we need to do, overcome the obstacles that stand in our way, there's, of course, the 7 of Pentacles, too. The 7 of Pentacles might be the most frustrating of all of these cards. You found what you're passionate about and you're fighting for it, so you're actually enjoying it. You've got all these choices in front of you, and part of the fun of making up those, looking at those choices is, looking into each of them to see what they have to offer, and that can fill you with joy and excitement, even if it is an obstacle that you have to overcome. 7 of Swords, as they go on this little tangent about how there's the positive sides of them, 7 of Swords might not have as much of it, but when you find that confidence, within and you steal back that confidence, then absolutely, that's a positive thing. All of these lead you to that potential of success and wealth, and the 7 of Pentacles is no different. The thing about the 7 of Pentacles, though, look at his face. Look how just kind of like bored he might be, because the 7 of Pentacles is all about patience. It's all about taking that time to really appreciate how far you've come, but it is absolutely not time to reap the fruits of your labor. So that is the obstacle that comes with the 7 of Pentacles, because it's very much, you're right there. You can see the finish line. You can see the goal. You can see, take for example, imagine this is a tomato plant. And you've got all those little flowers on the tomato plant that promise tomatoes coming. But they're just flowers right now. You can't actually pick them. You can't enjoy them. You have to wait for that stuff to be done. Now, always the 7 of Pentacles tells you, it's not time to give up. It's not time to stop. You can take a breath, but you have to stay focused. Those little flowers, they're going to have to be tended to. They're going to have to be watered. They're going to have to be protected from the animals that want to eat those plants. And the obstacle that lies in that is, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. Patience is definitely something most of us don't have at this point, because in society and in here and now, patience is something that we just don't need so much anymore. Stream any kind of show or movie or any form of entertainment in an instant and watch it and enjoy it. Buy something off the internet and get it in like 2 days. We don't have to wait for anything. But when it comes to creating success in our lives, finding that wealth that we deserve, absolutely we're going to need to overcome those obstacles. Stay focused, stay patient, and not give up even if we want to. Those things are growing. Our ideas are growing. We know what we want. We're willing to fight for it. We have all these choices that we can find success with. We can have that confident mind to find success with too. But even all of these takes that patience and that dedication to overcome the obstacles that stand in our way of that success that awaits us. Now, perhaps that's why all three of these cards, or why I say three, all four of these cards correspond to the fixed signs of the zodiac. Like, I do entire videos about zodiacs too, but we'll touch on that as well. Like the Seven of Wands, that's the fixed fire sign of the zodiac. The final decan of it before you meet Virgo, the mutable fire or mutable earth sign. The Seven of Cups, that is Scorpio, so that's the fixed water sign of the zodiac. All of those things, all of those struggles that you had, like Five of Cups focusing on the sadness, Six of Cups reflecting on that sadness and remembering the good times as well as the bad. All of those are with you now, so you can make that choice to keep going, so you can make the choice that makes your heart sing in the here and now. Seven of Swords, that's Aquarius, so you've got that fixed air sign at the end of, or the I can't remember things right now. February 11th through February 20th. So, winter is coming to an end, but you're still there. You're still fixed on it because you've still got another month before spring starts. And of course, the Seven of Pentacles is the fixed earth sign of the zodiac. So you have that earthy energy. And that's that time of year, which is like, May 11th to May 20th, that's when you're planting those seeds. That's when you're starting to see them take off, but it's not time to reap those fruits of your labor. None of these show actual success. They're telling you you're willing to work for it, willing to fight for it. And so you have to have patience with the progress and have to have patience with yourself as you overcome all of these obstacles that stand in your way. Now we're going to put all of these aside. I'm going to go like that. Apparently the Seven of Swords is the one that's going to stay on the top, but I'm going to set them. Oh, I can do this. Yes. There we go. You can kind of still see them all. I don't have them in the order I had them in, but there you go. Yes, we have that. We're going to have two more cards of the major arcana that connect with the number 7. Of course, there's the Chariot. Chariot is the number 7 of the major arcana. It's all of these combined, giving us that power. Where are these the day-to-day things, fighting constantly against the ones that don't believe in us, making those 35,000 choices every single day, finding that confidence again and not letting the people that steal from us steal our confidence as well, and patience. Patience as we work to grow our crafts and find success with them. All of them show that confidence, that getting behind the wheel, that driving the chariot forward to find that success and wealth that we deserve. So 7 is the number of the Chariot, the major arcana. It's right here, and you see him, he's behind the wheel. And that's the thing that it's kind of interesting about the number 7 is none of these show anybody else. So a lot of it is internal. It's finding that confidence, finding that strength, finding that internal power we need to overcome whatever obstacles stand in our way of success. So we have to take control, have to drive ourselves forward, have to overcome those obstacles so we can find the success that we deserve. And that's exactly what the character in the Chariot is doing. He's got everything he needs. He's got those sphinxes there, which always kind of make me think of history. Like all the ones that have come before us that give us all of that information and all of that knowledge. And if you think about history and you think about the ones come before us, then you think of all those struggles that they had, all the obstacles they had to face so they could pave the way for us today, giving us the power to get behind the wheels of our chariots and drive ourselves forward. So even if this is overcoming obstacles, it's not just saying there's obstacles. It's telling you you have the power to overcome them. When you're willing to fight for what you're passionate about, when you're willing to make the choice that is right for you, when you steal back that confidence and you have patience with the process, you are making progress. You are driving yourself forward. So very much the Chariot has that empowering message too. You're overcoming the obstacles that stand in your way because you're finding that confidence to get behind your wheel and go. Now the other card related to the major arcana with the number 7, or related to the number 7 from the major arcana is not exactly a positive one. No, the Tower. The Tower is 16 of the major arcana, and 1 and 6 equals 7. The Tower is probably the most feared card of the entire tarot because it's lack of control. All of these are taking control, and the Tower is losing all of that control. Everything that we've known, everything that we've worked to achieve, coming crashing down. When I do readings for others, and I do like that present future advice spread that I like to do so much, and this card comes up in the future, you can probably see just the dread coming off of my face when I see it, because this is not something you want to see in your future. It's not one you want to see in your reading at all, but again, it's a piece of the puzzle. It's a reflection. It's telling you, that you can overcome this. You can face that obstacle and you can keep going. Because the Tower, yes, it's falling. Yes, you have no control over it. But the control that you do have is the fact that you're free once it's gone. You're free to rebuild, free to create something new, and free to keep going, to find that success and wealth. Because the Tower is only 17, or 16, not 17. 17 is a story for another time. But that 16 energy, that is that overcoming obstacles. It is the obstacle, the biggest obstacle we're going to find. But it's not quite there to that success and wealth of the 8. So perhaps that Tower that we had that we thought was successful wasn't that successful at all. So the Tower kind of says, overcome the obstacle. When we overcome the doubt, when we overcome the anxiety, when we overcome those negative emotions that come with losing what we've known, the Tower says, we can rebuild a better tower from the ashes. We can pick up the pieces. We can drive our chariots forward. We can continue to fight, make the choice of what we want that next tower to be, steal back all the confidence we need to do it, and steal back our lights and our thunder, and of course have patience with the process as we work to rebuild a better tower than we ever had before. Now, as I said, these are the fixed signs of the zodiac. This is the cardinal water sign of the zodiac, Cancer, and then this one is astrologically connected to Mars. So that energy connecting to Mars there kind of shows that war, anger, destruction, and all of that. And if you think of Mars, you think of the fact that it's covered in rust, so something really, really, really awful must have happened there. But that's in the past, they can we could, and I think Elon Musk actually has this thought that they're going to actually put houses on Mars and have people live there so they can actually rebuild it. So no matter what life throws at us, the Tower tells us, we'll be okay. We've got to let it go so that we can have something better. So we can rebuild a tower from the pieces that we've left behind. So we can get behind the wheel in our lives and drive that chariot forward to find that success and wealth that we deserve. All of these cards, these 4 or 6 cards, yes, I can count. After 5, you don't have any members of the court, but they still have very much powerful energy. That 7 is considered the luckiest number that there is. And that 7 kind of shows, when you get into a casino and you're gambling and stuff and it goes 777, you really win. So that energy there in 777 is 2 and 1. So that's 21, and it goes to 3. That's the world of the major arcana, the empress of the major arcana, creating, overcoming the obstacles that stand in our way and creating the lives that we want. We got to fight for it sometimes. We've got to make the choice of what we want it to be. We have to have that clear, confident mind and steal back our confidence, and we must have patience with the process. When we have that patience, we can get behind the wheel in our lives. We can keep going, and we can fight through the power and fight through the sadness and the depression and the negativity that comes with what's been lost. Because after what's been lost is gone, we just might find something better than we ever had before. All of these are the step right before that success and wealth of the 8. All of these show the power and the potential we have to find that success. We just must find our confidence, find our power, stand for what we believe in, have patience, and drive ourselves forward, overcoming whatever stands in our way. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Next in this little series will be the number 8, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But for now, stay true to you, believe in yourself, fight for what you want, make the choices that feel right to you, think everything through, have patience with yourself and patience with the process, and even if life knocks you down, get right back up and learn from those experiences so that you can find that success that you deserve. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.